it's Thanksgiving morning here, and most people are getting the turkey in the oven or in the roasting pan. Not in this house. We're making venison bacon. With the help of my daughter Megan, we're going to make a quick batch of venison bacon here. We'll do 32 pounds. And what I have here in the tub is 16 pounds of venison trim and 16 pounds of pork trim that I get at my local butcher. And I just tell him how many pounds of venison bacon I'm going to make, and then he gives me how much pork trim, and he makes all the seasoning for me and everything. And what we actually have here, the 16 pounds of venison trim, is 14 pounds actual venison trim, and there's 2 pounds of venison heart in here. I add the heart into our sausages and bacons. Nobody in this house will eat an actual heart, but if I add it in something like this, they'll end up eating it. And this year, the 3 deer we got were all lung shot, so all the hearts were saved in these 3 deer that we got this year. So I'm gonna go ahead and turn on the grinder. We're gonna zip through this pretty quick. It's a 1 horsepower Cabela's grinder, and this thing chews up everything. Definitely wanna keep your fingers out of this one. And I always use push stick in it, and so we're gonna twice grind it. We're gonna grind it once through, and then I'm just gonna move that bin to here, and we're gonna grind it all through again, and then that way the meat's ground up good. And then I'm gonna put my mixer on, we're gonna mix everything together, and then we're gonna put it in our pan. So it's a pretty quick process, pretty easy to do. Anybody that wants to do something with their venison, this is the easiest thing to make with your venison right here. So watch the video, enjoy, and here we go. Okay, that's the first pass through the grinder. This thing's just a savage. It just chews the meat up, just unbelievable. We'll go ahead and grind it the second time through. I've tried doing this with only grinding it once, and the bacon was just too coarse and too gnarly to eat, so I always twice grind it. That's that little bit that's at the very end of the grinder, so I just pop that right back in. So that's the second time through the grinder. That's one time. You can see how much better it's ground and mixed together then. Oops. All right, we're done with that part. Just gonna give my hands a quick wash, and 2 pounds of ground venison now in the mixer. I just put the mixer onto the Cabela's grinder, and so I'm gonna mix up my seasoning here. I got just over a quart of water in here. I always figure a quart of water per 25 pounds of meat, or a gallon per 100. So stir this in, run it through the mixer for a few minutes. Take a look in here, Megan. This mixer works really well. It really stirs the meat up nice. And then I just put it in reverse and run it backwards once in a while too. You can do this part by hand, but my hands are just frozen by the time I get all that meat mixed up. So I bought this mixer and I love it. It holds 40 pounds of meat. Small batches, you know, if I'm doing a 10 or 12 pound batch, I'll just do it by hand. I don't want to dirty up the mixer for a batch like that. This thing really works good. You can tell when it starts getting really mixed together good, it'll start getting real sticky. It'll kind of ball around there. Alright, we got our meat all mixed up here now, and we're going to start loading it into our pans. I use these plastic pans, and you can use a cake pan or whatever, but you want to line it with plastic, and you don't want your processed meat to touch aluminum once you get to this stage, because it'll taint your meat then. But I just put a little piece of plastic in there. Being these are plastic pans, I put this cellophane wrap in there. That way it doesn't stick in the pan, and then when I pack it in there, let it sit overnight, and then tomorrow we'll flop them out into the smoker and smoke them then. So and you can just do whatever thickness you want. However thick you want your bacon to end up being is how much meat you put in there. And I just kind of go halfway up on the pan myself. And you can tell when it's mixed together, like I said, it gets really, really sticky at this point. So I actually had to put gloves on now. It's just horrible to try and get your hands washed up after this. And these plastic pans too, I found if I didn't put this cellophane in there, that it would stick into the pan even. So then I started using the cellophane even in the plastic pans. But I said you have to in the metal pan. So basically like that, we'll go through and I'll load up about 10 pans of this, and then you just fold that over like that so you can stack your pans up on top of each other. And I just put them in the fridge overnight to let them firm up, and then it kind of forms a loaf then, so when they come out of the pan they don't just flop out, lay out flat. So that's basically it. Enjoy your Thanksgiving dinner today, and we'll get this in the smoker tomorrow, and we'll be enjoying some nice smoked venison bacon. Thanks for watching, everybody.